So here's the hard truth. If you haven't filed your income tax, you only have like 1 week to kind of go. But you know, it's, I hate doing it every year, but I know we kind of have to. But the government keeps sort of like putting up this number that only 15%, right, of the population actually pay income tax. You sort of talked about this last week, but I think it bears reiterating. That's not a good thing, is it?
Yes, it's not a good thing here because there are few people paying income tax because people just don't earn enough. It's not because the government doesn't need to collect money from us. So.
True, but why do we not earn enough? I mean, I think it bears repeating again and again. It's like, why don't we earn enough?
There are many reasons. One of the reasons that economists have thrown up is because we have this big portion of low-income earners, foreigners.
Okay.
They're here and they're paid very little money, and this big group of people, some speculate to be around 6 million. If they are 6 million, it's 30% of the labor market.
Yeah.
These people, they are paid very little money, and they depress wages for a lot of the locals. So because of that, it's very hard for wages to move up, and as a result, wages are just too low. And I think one of the economists did mention that only 35% of GDP share is actually goes to labor, and that is actually considered low. There is a target for 40% by 2020, but
he actually says it's quite ambitious.
Yes, because it's only 2 years left, and that we probably won't be able to hit that yet. Yeah, but we should.
Yeah, but we're not actually blaming we're blaming the people or minimum wage that just has not moved up enough because companies just don't make enough.
Minimum wage is one thing, but as the economists say, minimum wage is actually just only one of the tools. It's actually considered one of the smaller tools.
Okay.
You should what should actually happen is you have more high value investments, creating the high income jobs, and then us having enough Malaysians to fill those jobs.
Okay.
And in that way, you actually have more people who can earn enough or do earn enough to pay income taxes.
All right, fair enough. But we did make a case, or you made a case for tax reform. So what is the case you are making? Because, I mean, great table, but it's a bit hard to wrap your head around. So what is the case you're making for sort of like tax reform?
It's not me. Actually, you have, if you look at the Barisan and also the Pakatan Harapan manifesto, each of them actually have quite a number of, they both of them actually touch on taxes.
Yeah.
And I think policymakers, they do realize that the tax burden, especially after GST, is actually quite high because most people already pay taxes through GST.
Yes.
And then with that, disposable income actually comes down. So, and when you don't earn very much, your disposable income is actually not that much either. So,
it's very...
And I think the desire of the policymakers actually hear that. So what they want to do when they talk about tax reform, I'm guessing, is to actually put more money in the pockets of the people. You and me, I mean, who really don't earn that much. I mean, just translate your income into Singapore dollars, for instance.
Why do you make me cry, Cindy? Why do you make me cry if you want me to translate? But how are they going to get money back into the hands? They just want to rejig the tax bracket so we pay less, because like you say, GST is a double whammy. You're getting it from both ends, essentially.
Well, there are several ways you can put money into people's pockets. One is directly giving money to you, which is what BRIM does.
Yes.
But we are more in favor of, because BRIM actually benefits the B40, the bottom 40 more, and we are talking about also relieving the people who are in the middle 40%, which actually don't earn very much, and they should be able to live more comfortably because we are already an advanced developing nation, and we are moving to become a developed nation.
Yeah.
So if you don't have enough middle income people think that they are living comfortably, then we are actually in trouble, right?
Klang Valley also
So-
apparently we're below the what the Bank Negara calls the living wage, right?
Yes, if I remember correctly, they say around 27% actually earn below. That would be households. When you look at individuals, actually, I don't have the whole spectrum, but it could be more.
Okay.
Yeah, but then you don't really know how many are individuals, how many are households.
Correct.
Yeah.
But one thing I suppose you and I both agree in is that, and we're turning the page back and forth, we agree that you should really stop taxing EPF.
Yes, you should. I mean, EPF money essentially is kept with the EPF, and we can't withdraw unless there is you
Extenuating
Yeah.
circumstances, of course, you retire.
Yes, and it actually doesn't take very much for EPF taxes, EPF money to be taxed, because if you contribute more than 6,000 a year, just outside of the contribution, which is 11%, if 11% of your annual income is actually more than 6,000, then your retirement money is actually being taxed, because all on our part, that income actually the exemption is only up to 6,000. So one way that you can actually give more money to the middle income is to increase that portion of the exemption. I think there was a calculation done here. So
Yeah.
if you actually were to increase the relief a little bit more, then it can be quite significant, the amount that goes back into the pockets of the middle income.
But long story short, stop taxing EPF.
Yes.
For more on the stories, pick up a copy of the Edge Weekly at all good newsstands.